Lead a one-man revolution from your armchair, talking cliches to listeners that aren't there. You call it warfare, but your wars aren't fair. If they were, there'd be suicide bombers in arms fairs.
YouTube, salute! Here to talk about Amos Nielsen Wilson. He was born February 23rd, 1941, and he made his transition January 14, 1995, was an African-American theoretical psychologist, social theorist, Pan-African thinker, scholar, author, and a professor of psychology at the City University of New York. So Amos Wilson was born in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and he completed his undergraduate degree at the Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, mastered at the New School of Social Research, and attained a PhD from Fordham University in New York. Wilson worked as a psychologist, social caseworker, supervisor, probation officer, and as a training administrator in the New York City Department of Juvenile Justice. As an academic, Wilson also taught at City University of New York from 1981 to 1986 and at the College of New Rochelle from 1987 to 1995. Wilson believed that the vast power differentiates between Africans and non-Africans was the major social problem of the 21st century. He believed these power differentiates and not simply racist attitudes was chiefly responsible for the existence of racism and the continuing domination of people of African descent across the globe. White people exercise racism because they have the power to do so. As a scholar of Africana studies, Wilson felt that the social, political, and economic problems that blacks face the world over were unlike those of other ethnic groups, and thus he argued that the concept of equal education ought to be abandoned in favor of a philosophy and approach appropriate to their own needs. Wilson argued that the function of education and intelligence was to solve the problems particular to a people and nation, and to secure that the people and nation's biological survival. Any philosophy of education or approach which failed to do so was inadequate. The idea that we must necessarily arrive at a point greater than we reached by our ancestors could possibly be an illusion. The idea that somehow, according to some great universal principle, we are going to be in a better condition than our ancestors is an illusion which often results from not studying history and recognizing that progressions and regressions occur, that integrations and disintegrations occur in history. That comes from the falsification of African consciousness. Please check that book out if you get a chance. Wilson further argued that the mythological notion of progress to which many blacks subscribe was a false one, that integration could only occur and persist as a social economic reality so long as the U.S. and global economies continue to expand. If such an economic situation were ever to reverse or change for the worse, then the consequences which will follow could end up resulting in an increased racial conflict. Thus, he urged blacks to consider this integration as a realistic possibility, to prepare for all scenarios with the understanding that integration was not guaranteed to last forever. Wilson also believed that racism was a structural and institutionally driven phenomenon derived from the inequities of power relations between groups. This could persist even if when more overt expressions of wit were no longer present. Racism then could only be neutralized by transforming society structurally in a system of power relations. If you want to check out some of his books, The Developmental Psychology of the Black Child, Black on Black Violence, The Psychodynamics of Black Self-Annihilation in Service of White Domination, Understanding Black Adolescents, Male Violence and its Remediation and Prevention, The Falsification of African Consciousness, Eurocentric History, Psychiatry and the Politics of White Supremacy, Blueprint of Black Power, A Moral, Political, Economic Imperative of the 21st Century. So like I said, this is a great scholar right here. I've read like 5 of his books. He's changed my whole worldview, and I thank him for all the positive things he has done in the 20th century. And I believe he's probably the greatest African-American psychologist, if not the greatest psychologist of the 20th century. Post your comments below. Hulk smash Black Panther the like button and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. If you'd like to support and donate to the channel, I have Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, Streamlabs. Everything's in the description. Until next time, peace.